everybody. Welcome to the H.A.M podcast. My name is Austin.
My name's Matt.
Our third co-host, Hayden, is not here today, but hopefully he'll be here for the second one of
Yep.
the H.A.M podcast.
Yep.
Um,
Important thing. H.A.M. stands for three people. We are unfortunately short one on our very very first recording episode. But it's probably a sign of things to come with Hayden. You'll definitely realize that with him
yep,
as we go through this. But it should be good either way.
absolutely. We are a gaming, I would say other things too, but mostly gaming oriented podcast. We're going to be talking about a lot of new games coming up, games that we are playing currently, and games, probably hot takes and some other interesting facts, and also maybe dabble in some other things too while we're at it.
Yeah, and the real motivation, like for me anyway, I guess, and I don't, but I think most of us will agree. The motivation is this is really just like to get with our friends, talk about gaming, talk about life, talk about things going on in the world, and using like the video gaming platforms and stuff that we do to kind of build off of this. We enjoy making people laugh and making ourselves laugh, so I think we just wanted to kind of share that with others. And if you like it, you like it. If you find something of a similar interest, then great. If you think it's dumb, then listen to something else. We don't need that negative energy anyway. So, but
Absolutely.
it'll
Completely
be
agree.
good. And like Austin said, we're going to talk about current games, new games, old games. We just love gaming, so we're going to just talk a lot about it and a lot of different things. And I wanted to kick this off, Austin, with a question to you.
Oh, God.
With what got you into video games? What was it like the first game that you played? What was it that hooked you to it to just that keeps bringing you back and wanting to kind of continue to play it as we get older?
Wow. Great question. Hate you for putting me on the spot. Thanks for that.
That's
Um,
that's what I do.
yes, absolutely. So for me, first game that I remember playing was like old school MLB, uh, NFL Madden games with my dad growing up. And then I hit that teenage age, and then a game called Modern Warfare 2 came out 2008, 2009, I believe, and just got completely hooked on it. Fell in love with the competitive style of gaming, um, getting absolutely destroyed in it, by the way. And then gradually getting older and older and finding story mission games, campaign games, games like The Last of Us, one of my favorite games of all time. God of War, Gears of War campaign to me is amazing and underrated. Games like that. And then now I'm older, Spider Man, Last of Us 2, um, Baldur's Gate 3, that I'm currently finally almost done with after playing the game 15 times and never passing the first phase. And now finally on the third act, we're getting there. But I would say that personally, 100%.
So clearly, out of all those, a lot of those games you talked about, go ahead and name your platform that you play on, your preferred gaming platform.
So, preferred game platform. Another great question because growing up, it was OG Xbox. My dad bought it for me when I was really young. The big, bulky controller, just that whole experience is amazing. And I still have that Xbox actually at my house. And then went to, of course, Xbox 360, like everyone else in the world, I believe, and realized that PlayStation is better. And then got a PS3, PS4, and now I'm rocking a PS5, and hopefully eventually buying a PC down the road. But right now we're straight up PS5 and just gaming and having a lot of fun.
See, I'm much older than you.
Not much,
When
not much older.
it it seems
Okay.
like I'm much older when you talk about the platform you started on, because I started with the like Nintendo, Super
Well,
Nintendo
yeah,
platform. That was Donkey Kong was the like one of the very first games I remember playing growing up, riding the rail train cars and jumping from platform to platform and learning the
absolutely.
moves of that. Like that was what kicked all this off for me was back then. But I was like the opposite of you though. Like you started out with like talk about like newer consoles like the Xboxes and stuff like that. I started out with PlayStation. I was like solely PlayStation. PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. That was like my genre forever. And then I switched to Xbox after that. And it wasn't even Xbox 360. I think it was Xbox One. I think was the first Xbox that I had,
Oof.
and went from there. And so I have the opposite. console experience of you for talk about superior console. Now I'll give you this: PlayStation's graphic detail, a bit like the graphics on the screen from the PlayStation, much better than Xbox for that for sure. But I don't know, just the playability isn't. I don't know the easy adaptability of Xbox is always
I
nice.
will say with Xbox, the number one thing that Xbox has that PlayStation does not is your guys' Game Pass. Xbox Game Pass is way better than the PlayStation ones. PlayStation has one, but it is way too expensive. And I mean, yeah, it's a yearly thing, but it's way too expensive in my opinion. And also, the games on there aren't that great. It's either old games that you played already. It's no like name drop releases. Like for example, Call of Duty comes out this year, the new one, and that's day one on Game Pass.
Yep.
PlayStation would never do that. Never. There's no way they would do that. I mean, to be fair, yes, Xbox is going up in price with their Game Pass, probably because of that. But still, to me, that is, I think Xbox has that Game Pass, and that's just amazing.
It works out nice for us Xbox players, not for you, not for you
No, not
PlayStation.
for us.
Cross-platform though, or cross-play has been
Yes, a
a game
lifesaver.
changer as well, though. I mean, be able to play with other platform people and different things like that definitely helps out a lot. Um, PC gamers, though, that I think they stay in their lane, stay where you're at. PC gamers, it's not fair for you to have to come over to
So,
our
okay, you know what?
inferior systems to try and play against us and steal our thunder from time to time. But they obviously PC game has the best games like out there available to them all the time, and so
Yeah, way
I
more
wish I
free to
had
play
the
games.
PC.
Yeah, way
Yeah,
more free to play games. When Steam has their Steam sale, games are like 95% off or some crazy crap like that. I will say, with the whole crossplay scenario and on certain games, I actually enjoy playing against PC players on my PS5 because when we play like Apex Legends and knowing that I'm facing a guy with a mouse and keyboard and we somehow win, like the fact they lost to like a 30-plus-year-old dude who's playing on his couch with a massive TV, like kind of get crapped on, dude. Honestly,
yeah. Well, we're beast. You know what can you
exactly.
say?
Exactly.
But yeah, and if Hayden was here, we'd obviously ask Hayden the same question. So we'll shoot the question out to him still, and we'll see if we can't get him on there to give his message for it. But we'll have to wait for another day for the H.A.M to join us for part of our show here. But um, obviously, we are hooked on games. We love playing games. What is what's the upcoming game or that you're just looking to get into right now? What are some new games, new stuff out that you're waiting wanting to play, are playing and loving?
So for me, it's actually gonna be. I need to double check this. I forgot to write this down, and I know terrible
You
me.
didn't do your homework. You didn't do
I
your
did not.
reports.
I did most of my homework, but I forgot to do one thing. There's a game coming out. I mean, the game itself, there's been a million games. It's also a board game, but it's called Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2.
Yep.
It's coming out very soon, and I mean like beginning of August, I believe. It is crossplay on launch day, and it is like Helldivers 2, but more extreme. There's hordes of people, like hordes of creatures you have to destroy. There's also PvP, the full on customization of your Space Marine. There's even a co-op story, full on story mode with up to 3 friends. Watching the gameplay makes me so excited, and I cannot wait to play that game. I am gonna buy it day one, 100%, and I'm gonna try to convince you and everyone else to buy the game, so I'm not alone.
It won't be that hard to convince. I've had a lot of people already talking to me about Warhammer prior to this, like before the game, but before what you're even talking about. Like they play it the board game style of
Oh yeah.
Warhammer, and the minifigures and all that goes into that part of it. So I'd be 100% on board to play some Warhammer and get involved in that. But obviously, NCAA football, right? I
Mm,
mean, we know you got it. I know you're playing it,
I
but
am.
give me your reviews. So you're on it. You're playing it.
Yep.
I've only watched others play it, so I'm just going off of that. But
So I'm about 3.5 hours in, and I'm gonna tell you right now, everybody, was very skeptic of this game. I know it hasn't come out in over 10 years, but I was very skeptic. I was like, this game is going to be a Madden reskin. It's going to be absolutely terrible, trash. People are going to play it for a month and get off. 3 hours into it, I can honestly say it's a lot of fun. It is nothing like Madden. I think this is better than Madden by a long shot. The fact that when you're facing a big school like an Alabama, a Clemson, a Georgia, a Texas, any one of those guys, right? If you're playing in their home field, the crowd gets so much into the game that it messes up your cadence. It messes up your route running. You can't audible to save your life because the crowd is going so insane that the team can't hear the audible. And that messes you up. I had a third down play and goal, and I couldn't audible to a run because of the crowd, and I didn't get in, and it's insane. It's actually surprisingly a lot of fun. The Dynasty mode is actually full in depth, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. Surprisingly, on my end, I should say.
That part of the game that you're talking about, like you talk about the audibles and the noise crowd and things like that actually affecting it. Like they always talk about that, or they always say like the noise in the stadium affects the games or the outcomes of those types of things, and actually be able to put that into the game to actually work in that concept. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
That's
it's
that's new line, and that's a pretty hot take to be say it's better than Madden. You're
oh, it's.
attacking a very long franchise there.
I mean, I am, but I mean, if you go look around, I mean, Madden has been the same thing for the past like 5 years. Um,
Well, yeah,
I think this Madden,
past
Madden
10 years.
25, yeah, last 10 years at least. This Madden coming up, Madden 25, has a lot riding on it. I really believe that. I think that if this Madden does not hold well, if this Madden's worse than NCAA, I think EA's done making Madden games. I think they just stay with NCAA. Whoever made the NCAA, just stick with that, and give us like another company make Madden once. Give me 2K, a 2K Madden. We haven't had that in forever. I would love to go back to 2K Madden. 2K Madden 2005 or six, I think it was. That's a great game, an amazing football game. But then
Yeah,
EA had to step on in and take full reins of that. But who knows? I mean, it could be good, the Madden, but NCAA, as someone who is a somewhat of a fan of football games, like playing them, this one is actually a big surprise. Like after this, I plan on going back home and keep playing.
if you're a Madden player, you're gonna play bad no matter what. But if you're a like football games, you're looking for something
Yes,
different and maybe something more updated and just a new, fresh look at it. That's the game to go with now.
I think so. And what's cool too is that if you do like your My Career guy, who goes to college, after you're done with your game with them, you could transfer him to NFL, and then in Madden 25 you could play as that guy in Madden 25.
Well, I think I gotta bite the bullet and try to get
I
this
Yeah, you need to.
NCAA.
I
I've
have
bought.
one complaint. I'll be honest. I found out that there is no crossplay with Dynasty mode, and to me,
How would you? Oh, I see what you're saying.
yeah, like franchise mode in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't crossplay franchise mode,
Uh,
which is a bummer. Unless I read it wrong, but I believe I read that right. There is crossplay in general, like we could play together at other game modes, but I believe I read it correctly that game mode you cannot. If I'm wrong, please someone let me know.
so you can do but you can do a franchise mode similar like how Madison does a franchise mode where if you had other than it not being cross-platform, other people could join your
Yes.
dynasty franchise thing and
Yep.
play that throughout the season
Yep.
and do a okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking like the My Player Dynasty.
Oh no, sorry.
How does that even work? How does that work as a multiplayer? Like we're both on the same school. I'm the quarterback. You're the running back, and like
Hey,
we're
that
playing
would be
together.
cool.
That would
Okay.
be.
Hey.
Now we're talking about something fresh, and I got a question about that later. I'll bring up, but you were talking about this earlier today. You brought this up, but talking about a game I'm currently updating and downloading before I got here, No Man's Sky, and so
Yes.
I was looking at the stuff that that's coming up and or what the updates are, and just improving just a lot of the visuals and things
Oh
along those
yeah.
lines. It's already a great game, and so
It
to
is.
improve the visuals of that game, I'm excited. I can't wait to get home and jump back into No Man's Sky and get my first rocket, take off into the outer space and start jumping planets. That's the best part of the game. I just love jumping around.
For a company to have a game come out and absolutely, let's keep it honest here, crap the bed when the
Yeah,
game came out.
yeah.
I mean, it was terrible. It was
It was
at
unplayable for what
it was
it's.
unplayable at the time. It was probably the worst release game. Right now, that probably goes to Cyberpunk. Still, I would say, but
Never played it.
you never played Cyberpunk, really?
No, such terrible reviews from it. Everybody I talked to
Oh
that
yeah,
played it,
it's
they're like, once I got to this point, I couldn't even go any farther because it had
no.
a stupid glitch on it that just
So
wouldn't allow you to get any farther.
exactly. No Man's Sky and Cyberpunk
Other than
releasing.
picking your pubic hair and deciding how big you wanted your penis, it didn't really
I
have any
mean,
interest.
it's a game a lot like No Man's Sky in the sense of they both came out terrible. Like reviews were terrible. The game was unplayable, both of them. Now, I will honestly say both games are at a point where people will absolutely love them. Absolutely love them.
Oh, I'm excited.
And
I am excited to get back. I've never like actually beat the game. I've played it so many different times and gone so many different directions in that game. Because I like the base building part of it.
mhm.
I love jumping around on the map. I'll play some of the missions and I'll kind of get distracted with something else and doing other things and trying to like
Oh,
build the economy of like making a bunch of coin to get another ship and all this other kind of stuff. There's so many routes to go with it that it's never ending. It's the universe.
never ending.
You know, who doesn't like a great universe game? I always I don't know, I find space so interesting. But another game that you said you downloaded but haven't played. What's that game?
Oh,
Elden
you're
Ring.
talking about Elden Ring. All right.
Gonna play it?
Okay.
Are you gonna play it?
This is our first podcast. We don't need to make every single person mad at me already on day one. Okay. Okay. Elden Ring. Let's get it over with. So Elden Ring had no desire buying it. I'm not a Souls fan. I can't get into Souls games. I know everyone. You can hate me. Please don't destroy me though. Um. So I had no interest. DLC comes out. I'm seeing all these people play it. Of course, I get the itch of like, oh hey, they're playing it. Maybe I'll like it. I finally cave in. I buy it. I bought it for $30, not your typical $60. Bless you. Um, not your typical $60. I bought it for $30. I got a nice little sale on it, and as it is so overwhelming to me. I have
Yeah.
no idea what I'm doing. I know the biggest thing with it is that there's no path technically. You can do whatever you want almost.
Right.
And to me, and I know this might ruffle some feathers, but to me, if I have to look up how to do this and how to do this every 5 seconds, to me that's kind of a downside. I really believe that. Like,
Yeah. I mean, you should. Yeah, you definitely. Yeah, if you're getting stuck that many times, that you got to be like, all right, who else has done this that can help me
yes,
through it? You know that's no fun.
like
Feels like you're
nowadays
just taking the adventure out of it.
you are like now like with this game, like if right now I'm doing a samurai build and everyone I go online, it's like, oh hey, just follow this guide, follow this, do this, do this. Don't just run around. It's like, well then I'm losing the adventure part.
Yeah.
And I will play it eventually. I think what I plan on doing is I plan on having that game be my weekend game. I only play it Friday nights, Saturdays, Sundays, and that's it. I know if I play too much of it, I'm either gonna get burnt out or frustrated and uninstall it and never touch it again. Waste $30. So
I got overwhelmed with just the character build in the beginning. Just like like figuring out the guy I wanted, and right away I was
yeah,
so stupid. I went with human. That was like it
oh
was a regular human. That was dumb. I was like, they're so weak in the game.
yes,
They can't do it. Take forever to get the enough power to build up to take on even the first one of the first bosses. But like you said, yeah, because you get in and you're kind of you're kind of taken back from the scenery of it all. Like
you are. I mean,
once
it
you get
looks
through just the
beautiful.
first thing and you get out to that open world, it's like, holy moly! Like this is an amazingly artistically built game, and all the stuff, and it's huge. I mean, it's unbelievably huge, dynamic game, and you just don't know where to go. Like you're afraid if you go one direction, you're going to be going the wrong direction. That's going to be too difficult for the character that you have,
And I'm there right now.
and you're going to miss what the other things that you could have did. But it but that's the thing that I don't know. That's the part of it that you got to try to get over is it doesn't matter. It's your journey. So whatever direction your journey is where you go. And you're the kind of guy that likes to list like try new guys all the time. So like you could just run that guy that direction and then be like, you know what, I'm gonna take a new guy and go a different direction.
Are you really taking a shot at me with my Baldur's Gate 3 characters?
Well, let's go to Boulder's Gate. Let's talk about it. How many characters do you have built in Boulder's Gate?
Uh, After deleting some, probably 8 maybe.
You don't even
Because
remember all their names.
no, I couldn't tell you. Well, okay, so here's my thing on it. On some of them, I just want to see the build. Like, what's a bard do? Okay, not for me. I can't do a bard. Warlock, nope. The health pool is way too low. I like to go in first and beat the crap out of people. Okay, a barbarian, love them. Fighter, love them. Paladin, interesting. I don't hate him, but right now, my highest character is a fighter, level I think 7, I believe. We're in Act 3. I am finally, me and Shadowheart are finally connecting. Took freaking
Physically?
yeah, absolutely, 100%. It just took half the game, and then you have
It's a hard catch.
she is. I mean, it took forever, dude. And then you have Karlak, and she's just like, "Hey, you, me, bed now," and it's just like, "All right, whatever," you know.
No thanks, Karlak.
I mean,
She's too horny. Get it?
wow, that is just that's crazy. That's crazy. So the game's great. I love the game, and I cannot wait for I believe September is when the big update comes out, which hopefully is crossplay. Hopefully it's crossplay so we can play together. And then I believe that's when the mods come out for both PC and console. And if that does come out, oh my god, I'm gonna replay the game again with mods and make the game even more amazing and have more fun with it. And I can't wait. And if there is a crossplay finally releases, get ready because we're doing a full-on evil run. Like we're just gonna kill everybody.
Well, that's I think you talked about how like your character you want it to either kind of resemble you, right? Like who you are.
Yeah.
There's okay. So kind of what I'm going with that is I think there's benefits in that though, right? I think there's a benefit of running a character in the sense that it's a character that is you like kind of like your personality because
Yeah.
it's gonna maybe feel a little bit more realistic for you, and it's gonna maybe be kind of easier to get into it, especially maybe like your first time, like
Oh
doing that
yeah.
kind of like D&D type stuff, and
Yep.
that's obviously a Baldur's Gate is, and so that was kind of my same thing when I first was creating my character. Is like I created the character the same type I always create a lot of characters, like the soldier guy out there to be the hero, to be the leader everyone kind of looks up to and follows and that kind of stuff. But then on the other side of that, when I created my next character, that I went the opposite. I'm like, I'm gonna go something completely different, and not be that out in front of everybody. I want to maybe be more like the sneaky kind
Hmm.
of guy. And you talked like a bard, like try to be the opposite, be of something you never would be, and be like I would never be a magic character, right? That's usually I'd never go magic. Same like you talked about, like I'm gonna be like brute force, physical fight kind of stuff. But I'm gonna go magic and do the
So
magic spells and those types of things to be the opposite of what I would normally do to kind of just be different.
So what you're saying is, when crossplay hits, we both go evil. You go a magic evil dwarf, and I'm gonna go a bard dragonborn, and we just kill everybody. I like it.
That sounds good.
I
That
like it.
sounds good.
Sounds good.
I gotta finish. I really need to finish my first run through, but
I mean, I'm so close. I think I'm one more active way of hitting Baldur's Gate, and then I think we're on the races. I have like 80 hours in this game, and I'm still not done. And what's even crazier than that, and then this is kind of going off topic of a whole different game. I went and I looked at how many hours I have. I have almost 90 hours in Grounded already.
Yeah, I
And
believe that. The building alone on that, you got to put the time in.
yes, and plus that game hooked me from day one. Like that game hooked me. I couldn't stop. Like after work, before work, I'm just grinding, and I absolutely love that game. The fact that it took so long to come to PlayStation, I mean, I get it. It's an Xbox
It's
exclusive.
it's a good game, and
It's a great game.
that kind of brings us into a good transition to our one of our segments we're going to really talk a lot about because it goes with our name. What game are you just ham about? This is the going ham segment. What are you currently playing that you can't stop playing?
Right now, it's probably Grounded. NCAA could be a close second, depending on how the rest of the night goes. Um, I would say I could always play Diablo 4. I think Diablo 4 is a good game. It does have its issues that I have with it, but I think it's a good game where you don't need to worry about anything. You don't need to. You can just sit back, relax, kill a whole bunch of mobs, kill the bosses, and just have fun. I've been trying to get you to play that game for a hot minute now. Um, and then I would say like,
I downloaded it. We never played it.
well, that's not my fault.
No, well, halfway.
But okay, sure. I'll go half with you. Um, but yeah, Grounded. It's just such a great game. It's such a good game. I hope they make another one. They probably won't, but I hope they do. I believe that Grounded, the actual game, is done. I don't think they're going to be coming out with any big DLC or big updates or anything, unfortunately. But it makes
Well,
sense. The game
they
is
don't
older.
need to because they did that whole, you know,
Yoked thing.
yoke.
Yeah.
They did the yoke thing, but then they did that. You beat the game plus one, right? And then the game changes.
Oh, the game. I mean, there's like I think
It
there's like
gets
10.
harder. Your stuff rebuild like
Oh yeah.
revitalized. New things come, so they don't need to make a grounded two. You can just
It'd be
keep playing
so
the same
cool.
grounded one, but but the next once you beat it and beat all the stuff, the next thing comes and it's the new up it's updates and new things are around, right? There's new weapons, there's new builds.
Yeah, there's new weapons, new builds. I would say one of my thing is I think it'd be so cool if and now there is like a custom area where people can build maps and build whole new games, and that is fun. I've done that a few times. I looked around on that community creations
Yeah,
area.
modding's taken over so much stuff.
Oh yeah, and the one thing that I think would be so cool is different creatures. Like how cool would it be if every few nights you had to be careful because there's a snake, a gardener snake roaming around, or a dog, or something like that. I think that'd be cool. Or like the bird, like the crow that's in the game now. If like every once in a while the crow might actually land on the ground, not always on the trees or whatever. I think that would be amazing. But the game itself is great, and I have a lot of fun with it. And it probably still is right now, currently, the game that I am hooked on still. Um, I can't imagine me not playing anytime soon until when more games come out. And NCAA could take over. Who knows? 3 hours in, I'm already having fun with it. I could have almost 20 hours or even more by the end of the weekend already.
NCAA might take over
It might take over.
your your time. But that's the tricky part about sports games is because it just becomes the same sports game.
100%.
Where like you're talking about how grounded, like you can beat that game and it's the same game, but they've made changes because of the next part you get into it. The characters are stronger, the weapons are different, you can upgrade things. So that's where I think grounded is unique, like you talk about
Oh,
what
yes.
they did with it, where it's like it's not just play it, beat it, you're done, then start over and play it and do the same thing. It's built on top of it. We're like Elden Ring, right? Let's say I played Elden Ring and I beat it. The only way to make it different would be to me to have a different character and then go and play it again. But it'd be the same stuff, right?
Yep.
And I would maybe try to beat it faster or do things different that way. But be kind of like the same thing. Or like the Harry Potter. Like if I played it, beat it,
Oh,
and I
great
did
game.
another one, it's going to be the same stuff, the same stories, the
Yeah.
same everything. And Baldur's Gate's
You
going to be that way too. Like if I beat Baldur's Gate, if I unless I go a different route and do different things, it'll
yeah.
be the same. And
Baldur's Gate
that's where
3
you got to be
has
like, I
so
got to do
many
a different
endings.
character. I got to do a
Yeah.
different character. So,
Baldur's Gate 3 has so many endings.
well, yeah, it
I
does. I mean,
it has.
so I have three characters, right? I have three of them that I play. I'm playing one with with Hayden and a few, Jake and stuff like that, and then
Yep.
I played a solo one, two solo ones, and all three of them are all three of them are already so different that it doesn't matter where I end up right now in those games because I won't spoil anything for myself because they're all so different. So I mean
So
that's unique in that way too.
I read. So I heard this. It says so. Baldur's Gate 3 has multiple endings, and it includes two main variations of the ending. Two big ones. But besides that, there is over 17,000 variations on the ending it has. And to me, that's insane. Like
That is nuts.
that is nuts. Um, Great game. I was nervous when I bought that game. I thought I was gonna hate it. Thankfully, I had a free like 3 hour trial that I got to play for a little bit on my PS5 before I bought it. And once I played the 3 hours, I was like, okay, I need to buy this now, and then I need to keep playing. It's a great game. It really is.
So grounded though, that was that was your game that you're hammed on. You're just
Absolutely.
addicted to it. Can't get
I
off of it.
I really can't.
Well, I don't have that game right now. I have grounded, but I don't have this game that I'm addicted to right now. I was really addicted to. You already know. Hell Let Loose. Like I was
Ugh.
on that game. Talk about hours. I don't even want to look at the number of hours I put into that game because it's taken so much of my life away from me for playing that game. But that was by far the game I was extremely hooked on in playing. But right now I'm playing Civilization.
Ugh. I fell asleep. What'd you say?
Yeah. That's the thing, Austin. Not everybody just loves the same games that you play. There's other people out there with other interests of games that want to hear what others have to say about it.
I don't believe you.
So I'm playing it right now. I'm playing Civilization. Uh, I'm just a big I'm just a history guy. So I like
You are.
history.
Yep.
I like that kind of strategy. I like turn-based games too. I like
Oh yeah.
turn-based strategy. So in doing those parts of it, and obviously Civilization's that's what it is. It's turn-based strategy games. But coming to Xbox the way it has, it's definitely different than the whole PC versions of them and how it's played over the years. But I'm liking it. I'm liking Civilization. But I guarantee you now, when I get home with No Man's Sky update, I'll be on that now. I'll be on that every single night. And it's multiplayer and it's crossplay.
What is No Man's Sky?
I think so.
Yeah, we played it before a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Me and
So,
you and the other guys tried to play it, and then they all stopped after like a week, and then we stopped after 2 weeks.
well, we're the only ones true dedicated, as you can tell. Our third person, not even here on the first episode of this.
True.
So, we're clearly the most dedicated people.
Most dedicated.
Here's my next question for you, though. Kind of going along with game types. What's your thoughts on multiplayer games versus solo campaign games? Which would you prefer to play?
Man, 15-year-old me, 14-year-old me would say multiplayer. 30-year-old me now would say solo campaign. Multiplayer is fun. Don't get me wrong. I will say over the past 10 years or so, it's gotten almost unbearable where you can't like if you just want to play Call of Duty or Fortnite or Overwatch 2, any multiplayer game, you can't just play to enjoy and have fun with your friends. You're playing that game to win, you're grinding, people are out of their mind, sweating like crazy in lobbies. There's no more, hey, let's just play Fortnite. I mean, yeah, Fortnite for like an hour or two. It's not. It's you have tryhards like going crazy. It makes the game almost unenjoyable, which is a bummer. I really do hate that, but I think it's been that way for almost 10 years now. For me, it's campaign games. It's games where if you're playing solo, if you're playing with friends doing a co-op campaign, there's so many great co-op campaigns out there that I guarantee you people have no idea some of them. But playing a game and sitting down and getting lost in the story, getting lost in all of that, to me is amazing. I have so many games I can ramble right now and talk for hours on, and how much I just lose my mind into it, and it's just a great time.
Yeah, I can't not disagree with a lot of that um, because of a lot of things that you said. I mean, and that's what I mean. Multiplayer games obviously is that's what it's turned into is just competition.
Hmm.
But unfortunately, it's turned into like a lot of toxic competition and
Yep,
negative competition, and so you lose that bit of enjoyment on that aspect of it. But I think for me, it just depends on the game. It depends
it
on the
does.
the game that we're playing when it comes to those multiplayer
It
type
does. And I will say,
stuff.
Hell Let Loose, when you got me to play that for a little bit,
Yeah,
multiplayer game, but it was a game that I could turn my brain off. I didn't have to try on too hard.
it's
Um,
not it's not a thinking game.
not, I mean, it probably is, but for me, no. Like, you just had me snipe, and now I was just sniping from like 100 meters away or 200
Well,
meters away.
that was that's the nice thing about Hell Let Loose is like you pick your character.
Yeah.
So like sniping is probably one of the easiest uh, people to be in that game because it's the it's the only weapon that has a
Yeah,
scope on it, and so
absolutely.
it's the only one that's the easiest one to shoot. But it's all it's all about the type of player you want to be in that game.
Yep.
You know, it's not a run and gun
No,
multi-kill game.
I learned that real quick.
It's a team-based game. I mean, you are working with not just your people in your 5-man squad or even 2-person squad if you're running a recon team. You're working with all 50 players on your. You need to work with all 50 players to try
Yes.
and get accomplished what you need to accomplish. I could talk for days about Hell Let Loose. I'll put I'll do just a whole episode on Hell Let Loose one of these days, and we'll just talk nonstop about it. But when it comes to the other multiplayer aspect, I think you kind of look at like you said Fortnite, right? Call of Duty, those types of like multiplayer games. And again, going back to the old school multiplayer like Modern Warfare multiplayer, Noob Tube and stuff like that, Nuke City, Nuke Town, those types of multiplayer challenges. Those were fun getting into those at the
Yep.
beginning. Now to me it's like to me my favorite one is Apex. Like I would prefer to play Apex multiplayer all the time with a 3-man team or I think they have quads now, right?
They have quads for a little bit. Yeah, I believe right now it's quads and trios. I'm not sure how much longer that is for though, but I
I
believe
don't
so.
love that they jump back and forth. I wish they would just keep quads
Yep.
and trios and duos or or just keep those
Yep.
things like that. To me like it seemed like to me like when it came to Apex like the trios was like their thing, right? That was like
Oh
their
yeah,
niche.
that's their bread and butter.
And stuff like that. And that's always easy to get like a couple extra people to play and
Yeah.
play together. And so when it comes to like which ones I prefer the multiplayer, but it has to be a specific game. I'm not hopping on Fortnite multiplayer unless it's no build, maybe. But to me, I've lost so much interest in Fortnite because they've added so much
Yes.
BS to the game that I hate it. There's just too much going on. Like you talked about Hell Let Loose, it's just you don't even have to think.
I think with
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 Fortnite,
Fortnite
there's too. I'm overloaded. Like
overloaded.
sensory overload in that game for me. But that's why I prefer to go Apex. But I do. I prefer the. I would for me. I prefer multiplayer. I'd rather much play a multiplayer. I'd love to play a multiplayer co-op game. That
Yeah.
would be. I think Call of Duty used to have like Spec Ops
Oh yeah. Yep.
co-op. Those to me would have been so much fun to play. I never did. Like I never. I played a lot of zombies. A
Okay.
lot more zombies when it like that type of co-op,
Yeah.
working together to do those types of things. But I'd rather play the Spec Ops co-op,
But
and maybe
see, you're
there's
also
probably some other stuff too out there, but that I haven't even played. I haven't even touched the surface on. That I'd love to hear about what other co-op games that are played that I could get into.
would you say co-op is it like multiplayer co-op or co-op like is in like a story co-op?
Um, w- well, I think multiplayer co-op, but a story would be great, like playing together. You like there's Division, like the Division.
Oh, okay.
That's a co-op. That could be a
Yep.
co-op, but it's a story type thing, right? It's like working towards a story. That'd be
Yeah.
great. But it doesn't even have to be that. It could just be challenges. Like that I think that's the other part with Call of Duty too. You can just do all those challenges. Ghost Recon,
Hmm.
Wildlands is like that. That one's really fun. Ghost Recon Wildlands. That's an awesome co-op game. Um, for what it is. And that's a pretty massive game too.
It is, yeah. Too bad it's not crossplay.
No, it's not crossplay, and it's a good designed game. It's got flaws though. It's got a lot of
Oh
flaws.
yeah,
It's got
100%.
there's a lot of things I don't love about it, but that's a good one that I like. But I prefer the multiplayer. I like solo games. I like every once in a while, but I'll always if somebody was like, hey, would you rather play this or you want to play this game with me? I'm gonna play multiplayer every time.
Yeah, I think with me, it's just well. To be fair though, and this is kind of going back earlier in the pod. Um, Sony has a lot more solo campaign games.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
Because
yeah, it does. Spider-Man,
Spider-Man, God
God of
of
War.
War, Uncharted series. The Uncharted franchise is a great franchise. Everyone should play that game. I mean, everybody. All four of them are amazing. The Spider-Man games are great. I platinum all three Spider-Man games. God of War 1 and 2 are just story-wise and everything else is beautiful. Um, but I will say, Xbox does have some stuff, but for story and everything else, I would say with like Spider-Man, just getting lost in that. Like I played that like that game when Spider-Man 2 came out. I bought that game day one. I booted it up after work and I beat it the whole game, 28 hours right away.
And you blacked
Um,
out.
and I blacked out. And the game was amazing. And then as soon as I beat it, I rebooted it back up again on the hardest difficulty, and I beat it again. And it's just a great game. There's some things that are kind of cheesy on it, of course, but just all of that. So I mean, I do like multiplayer games, and there's once in a while I do want to get in, just have fun with the guys. And I would say going back to what you said, one of the biggest things for me with playing multiplayer is having people. Like, I'm not about to hop in Fortnite, play solo. That just sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play Fortnite with
Random
randoms.
squad.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing Apex randoms. Call of Duty, sure, I'll play that solo. Like, that's different. Like, that's a whole different game almost by itself.
Yeah.
Call of Duty, your main objective is either do the objective or just get tons of kills. That's pretty much it. Now, if I'm playing, if I have like us two and two more playing Fortnite, sure, I'll do that. Apex, same way. It's like a 3-man squad. We're all getting in. That's more fun. Doing the whole solo multiplayer, that to me, I'm checked out. I'm going home, going to bed.
And are you talking like multiplayer like die, respawn, come back in, die, respawn, come back in, or
Both.
or
BR battle
yeah,
royals like
battle
Fortnite.
royale.
So either way, like I'm not about to play Fortnite by myself. That's just not happening.
Yeah.
I'm not playing. I'm not going to play Apex by myself. But I will play Call of Duty by myself, multiplayer. Like that's pretty easy. Overwatch 2, I'll play that solo, even though it is more fun with your friends and stuff in a group because you communicate more. But playing solo queuing in Overwatch or solo queuing in Call of Duty multiplayer isn't terrible. But you'll never catch me solo queuing in Fortnite or solo queuing in Apex. That's just not going to happen. Or Warzone, but I don't play Warzone either, so.
I miss Warzone. I do miss it.
I do too. I played a little bit at work. Some of the guys are playing it in the other room, and I hopped on, and I was like, "Let's give it a try." And I was running around, and it brought back great memories of the past of like old, like COVID Warzone, and I was just like this. I'm like I miss this, but then I remember how much I also hate grinding the game. So plus the game is so big. Like if you download that game, you need to uninstall everything else.
And I was gonna talk. I was gonna bring this up because you talked about NCAA. So like, I downloaded it when it was available to download. I didn't buy it yet, but it's small. You know what I mean? Like the gig wise, it was small, way smaller than I thought it was gonna be. Like Madden is like 60
Oh,
some
NCAA.
gigs. NCAA was only like 20 some
Yeah,
gigs.
it's like 24, 23. It was
Yeah,
like super small, super
crazy
small.
small. And I think that's a big part of that
Oh
too.
yeah,
Like the space. I don't know how they're able to do it,
I don't either.
but either way they did it. So I'm happy with how they did it. You know what game I miss though, and I would love to get back and play in a group. Search and Destroy. Search and Destroy on COD was my favorite
Well,
game mode to play.
I love that too. So, okay, so here we are. Ready? Let's make a pack right now. Black Ops 6 comes out this year. It's on Game Pass, so it's free for you. I'm at the fork over $70 already, and I'm already.
I downloaded that one too. It's ready. Just
So
wait. It's lying in
we
wait.
we get Black Ops 6. Me, you. We get the rest of the guys. I'm pretty sure we can convince Darren to play. I don't see why not. And
Darren,
we
if you're listening to this, you need to make sure that you're going to play this game with us.
no, not make sure. Darren, if you're listening to this, you are playing. Just get ready. You can set down NCAA for 2 minutes. And we just grind out. Like I will say this, earlier I said I like campaign solo games more, but if you can get me hooked on a multiplayer game that has a good or great ranked mode, you got me hooked all day.
Yeah.
Like get me ranked. Like give me
Let's get
like
into Apex Ranked.
I wanted to, and we played like one game, and you guys backed out right away.
You're BSing me.
I'm
I
not
don't recall
BSing.
this at all.
Okay. I remember
Did
exactly.
I black out? I don't recall this at all. I remember playing a couple ranked games.
We did.
In Fortnite. I
No,
think
we
we
played.
played one or two in that. I don't recall playing ranked games in Apex.
We played at least 2 ranked games.
We might have, but I don't. I don't remember.
But ranked Apex and like pub Apex, 2 different games.
I'll never play PUBG. Never play it.
Oh no, hey, no, PUBG's a great game. Okay,
I'm never gonna play PUBG. We played it once. No, played it a while back. Maybe it's better, but the thing I hate about PUBG is the AI players, the fake players in the lobbies. There's so many of them.
it's a good game.
It's trash.
It's like right up your alley too.
Next. That's our next. That'll be our next episode. We'll have another segment about
Oh,
changing, get rid of this game or something. Like, what's the trashiest game right now that you would never get to play? And it's gonna be PUBG for me for sure.
oh,
On top, there's others, but PUBG was.
oh yeah. There's others.
All right, I want to kind of wrap this up with one last question. This was my super secret question for you. Well, it's gonna be for both of you, obviously, but it's not now.
Well,
But this is the on the spot segment. If you could create a game today, what game are you making? It's a tough one.
if I'm making a game right now,
And obviously, it doesn't have to be like the whole storyline of the game, but like, what's the genre? What's the purpose? What's what is the game
all right.
that you want to like that you wish was made right now or available, or was maybe it's even a remake of a game that you just
Oh,
like you want. But what game right now, if you had the unlimited funds, the knowledge, the tech, what game are you making?
okay. Hear me out. How amazing would it be? I have like 3, but we'll stick with the one. If and this is kind of me contradicting what I said earlier, but give me an MMO RPG surrounding around the world of Harry Potter. Like you create your character with your
Nerd,
friends.
Harry Potter nerd over here.
Like let's just listen. Hear me out. You create your character with your friends. You create your character. You pick your house. You can go to school. You can skip school. And it's an MMORPG. So you have your clans. You have your raids of dungeons. And there's dungeons in Harry Potter. There's all these other creatures, and you guys can fly around in brooms. And you wands, and you're just casting spells. You're going crazy with it. That would be. And the PvP aspect of it would be so cool. That'd be such a cool game. That'd be so cool. Now, would it run absolutely terrible and probably crash a lot because everyone was casting spells every 5 seconds? Probably. But that's not the point. The point is the game would be amazing.
Is this VR? Is it VR?
No, if it was VR, everyone would be throwing up. Somebody cast a Avada Kedavra on somebody and they might die in real life.
You're talking open world, hundreds of people in there.
Yeah, I'm talking
casting
like
spells.
like World of Warcraft MMORPG, but it's in the world of Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. I'm getting a visualization now.
Like you could you have your house. You could pick when you're creating your character. You could pick what school you go, like what house you are. Are you
Yeah.
Hufflepuff? Are you Ravenclaw, Slytherin? All of them, Gryffindor. And then because it's Harry Potter, one of the last customizations is your scar. What's your scar on your face? Are you the lightning bolt? Are you having like a dragon on your forehead, a big like burn? And Is it kind of like the Hogwarts Legacy game right now? Yes. Like picture Hogwarts Legacy, but an MMORPG. Multiple people running around. People are flying around on brooms. You can do all this crazy stuff. Do dungeons with your friends, and your dungeons is like a big ogre, a three-headed dragon, just some crazy crap. I think that would be so cool. Would it ever happen? Probably not. But hey, this is why you're
It could
thinking.
happen. It'll happen.
I think that would be a great game. I have more, but like
It'll happen.
that one, that would be. I think that would be huge. That would be so huge. I think.
I mean, it'll definitely happen. Hell Let Loose stole my idea. I mean, obviously they didn't steal my idea, but it was in my head years
Oh
ago of how that game works and like how to play it with the whole command structure and
yeah,
having one person that kind of really is the person to try and dictate the whole your side of your team of what's happening in the game, and that person's doing all that kind of stuff, but then coordinating with other squads to do that part of it. That's the because again I like those top-down turn-based type games, and that's kind
yep,
of how that's my game that I've always talked about wanting to do. But I would do more of like I want to go back older again history-wise, like an American Revolution type strategy game with that same concept of like Hell Let Loose is, but American Revolution wise, in doing that. And so you have that general commander guy on that part of the field. But I think it'd be cool to be able to like in the game to be able to like blow the map up and move back and be able to see the see things kind of moving on the map.
oh yeah,
Um, there's already a game out there that was created for that does like a sand table type map thing like that that allows you to move in and out, and that was Ruse. You ever heard of Ruse?
no, I don't think so.
Ruse. To me, one of the greatest World War II games ever made to me. That
Hmm.
in the aspect of the sense of what the game was. It was very like strategy based
Yeah,
movement and things like that. Coolest game. It was just that like you could zoom down into the map and be like pretty much like inside the tank of a tank that you built out of your tank factory or whatever to be on the map, and then you could zoom all the way out and it'd just be like a circular piece of a piece on a board in like a war room. You know, like a war room map that's just got all the like here's the allies here and the axes is this way and they're moving this way and all that kind of stuff. Unbelievable mechanics of the game. So disappointed that that game stopped being made and stopped even being available. I think you can maybe get it on Steam, but that's not the part of it. But Hell Let Loose stole that idea to me, like of what I was always wanted a game to be like, being able to command a whole group of people working together on a team within that part of it. To me, that's one of the ultimate games. But that's the kind of game I always wanted to see created. I'm so glad it did. I wish it was better. I wish the graphics were better, the movements were better. But it's a game ahead of its time, Austin.
it's a game for sure.
It's a game ahead of its time, and it's coming. Kind of like your Harry Potter MMO RPG game.
Hey, that game could be amazing. Okay,
I can see it in my mind. I can see it.
and now you know what's crazy? Just that when I was talking about that, I just almost came up with another game, like Baldur's Gate 3, right? Top down, almost like D&D, right?
Yep.
But what if there was like what if D&D Beyond or D&D the company made like a full-on Dungeons and Dragons video game? So it's like it's the top down, but it's a game. You have your DM and you have your players and you're playing Dungeons and Dragons all virtually on a video game. I think that would be sick. I don't know how that would work, but that'd be kind of cool.
I thought they did. Isn't that D&D Beyond?
No, D&D Beyond is just like it has your character sheets, and you can do something like that too. And there is some other like websites where you can have virtual like maps and virtual like little pictures of your faces. But if you could create your character like Baldur's Gate 3, like think of that fully, right? All of that, but you actually have like different stories and everything. I think that'd be cool. I don't know how that would happen or how that would work. And I know D&D is more fun in person, which I completely agree with. But that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. Well, either way, everything's going to move into simulation and VR. So everything we're
God,
talking about is going to be
I'll
on
be honest right
VR.
now. I really hope not. VR makes me want to throw up.
It's coming. But I think this is I think I love this question. I just love the ideas of what type of games people want to play or what's out that they want to create. And so hopefully maybe we get some people commenting and letting us know what game they want to create within within these things. So Hayden, what do you have to say? Perfect. Just love it. Thanks for joining us, Hayden, today for our first episode. Hopefully we can get him on the second one for the Ham Gaming Podcast. Hopefully more to come. Lots more to talk about. Lots more cool games to come up. But that's going to probably wrap us up for today. Thanks for listening wherever you're at, whatever time it is. We love talking about gaming, and we're just going to keep talking about it no matter what. And we're just going to love it. So thanks for joining us.